Hi everybody, it's Lee. Today we're going to do some healing and some martial arts. So originally in some of the older martial arts, the fighting component was balanced by a healing component, and that was different kinds of Eastern medicine. Uh, so today I'm going to um, practice some Shorinji Kempo martial arts. It's a Japanese style, kind of a Japanized kung fu, and also some healing practices to get my body. Because as you know, I have a left knee issue and it's recurring. So I'm just going to do something to loosen up my lower back, my IT bands, and get that bad feeling out of my knee with some massage. So in Shorinji Kempo, Doho is the hard style martial arts. Juho is the soft style martial arts like judo and aikido, and seiho is the healing practices, the healing part of it. And Chinese kung fu has been known for their masters having abilities in moxibustion, acupuncture, and different healing type modalities. Just because of the hardness of the training, they needed something to heal the students after their really hard training. So I'm going to start out by using the foam roller to simulate myself getting a massage. Normally it'd be somebody else massaging the practitioner, the Kung Fu practitioner, but I'm just going to roll out my lower back and my left IT bands because those are the most stiff on me lately as I'm getting older. I'm going to lower the camera, so my apologies if that makes you a little dizzy. Just angle that down a bit so we can. Here's my handy dandy friend, foam roller. I'm going to lower, start with the lower back. We'll roll the lower back out. And as with the martial arts, healing, as with the healing and as with the martial arts, breath is important. You want a nice relaxed breath so you're not stimulating that fight or flight reflex by breathing intensely or a bunch of sharp breaths, just long inhales and exhales while you're doing with healing. Good. I'm getting into the left lower back of my body. Taking it slow just so it gets in there. There's no sense in rolling anything quickly because that can cause injury. Now I'm going to switch to rolling on my left IT band because that's always stiff on me. You never want to end on the hip joint or the knee joint. You only want to do the ligaments and tendons and muscle. You want to roll those out. And you don't want to end your roll on either the hip bone or on the side of the knee because that's just not healthy. The rolling itself is quite discomfortable, uncomfortable. Okay. So that would be the massage. therapy part. And now I'm going to use a modern device that simulates moxibustion or burning of medicinal herbs on the outside of the body to facilitate healing. Sometimes medicinal teas are drank, but this is more like a infrared heat. As a little you kind of see the little round things in the background there. So it's shooting out UV and infrared light and heat, and there's a vibration component to this. So it vibrates on the knee. Specifically, this is for the knee, and I'm going to strap this on tight so that I'm absorbing most of the vibration that the unit induces. Don't want any play in the knee, as it were. So this is what it looks like when it's here on the knee. This is the control panel. So the power, this adjusts the vibration and this adjusts the heat. So I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to increase the heat to medium, and I'm going to keep the vibration on auto. I'm going to do that for about 4 or 5 minutes. And this simulates burning moxa on the affected, injured part of the body, because there's heat that's being transmitted and UV light. I like to put a piece of cloth over, because there are lasers that are being shot out. I don't need to accidentally laser my eyes. Eventually I'm going to build up to probably 10 minutes or 20 minutes at a time, but for now, for today, I'm just going to do 5 minutes on the one knee, maybe 5 minutes on the other knee after our movement practice. Looks like we're still broadcasting. I did do this very same stream yesterday, however my restream wasn't recording, so I guess I did a rehearsal yesterday of what I'm streaming today. The injury in question I have is a Baker's cyst, so the knee, the patella, and when the tibia and femur meet, there's a little sack of liquid that cushions the joints so they don't grind and meet on joint, because that'd be very painful. But a Baker's cyst is an increase in that fluid, which also causes alignment issues and can cause joint on joint with too much lubrication between those bones, the femur and the tibia. So that's why I was the IT band. It might be starting in my butt, tightening in my butt, and then pulling on the IT band, which then would track the knee sideways, causing alignment issues. So applying this heat with UV light and vibration, inducing a healing type response in the body. Heat and alternating heat and ice have been used before. Cupping, if some of you are familiar with that, and also the acupuncture needles or acupressure with the body parts on the affected area. And burning moxa on generate heat in certain parts of the body and induce that healing response. Just do that for another minute or so, and then we'll get into our movement. It's already feeling quite a bit better. And press the off button, and we're going to reset the camera, and then we'll get into our movement. So some of my streams before, I've done the Shorinji Kempo. And I was usually doing some, so a person is doing a punch and then doing some responses to that. So today I'm going to show you a foundational sequence of attacks and blocks that they do in Shorinji Kempo, kind of like a kata, but they don't call it a kata. And the name of it, the sequence is called Tenjiken Daike. I'll do it from the front and then from the back. So this is the Shorinji Kempo Bao Gasho. Gasho is a word that they borrowed from Japanese Buddhism. Tenjiken Daike. And go into the Chudan Kamae. From here, shuffle step forward, punch, crossover step, punch. That second punching hand goes vertical and stepping in, hook punch. Then from there, 3 steps back, 1 upper block, 2 middle block, 3 lower block. And once that block is out of the way, then counter kick, stepping forward again, back into the original position. So it's a sequence of 3 attacks and 3 defenses, and then you pair up with a partner, and the first partner does the 3 attacks, while the person moving backwards does the 3 defenses. So upper block, middle block, lower block, counter attack. So this is what the sequence looks from the side. I was just showing you the attacker and defender parts, but so start off, punch, crossover step punch, vertical hand, so you're guarding and doing that hook punch from there, upper block, stepping back, middle block, stepping back, lower block, counter kick, stepping back into normal position. Do that one more time from the front. Tenjiken Daike. Hup, 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 hup. And the sequences of, so someone's coming in with a punch, and in that first response, we're starting off in our Judan Kamai, and feet are a little bit closer together compared to the regular karate, which would be deeper and lower, but half that depth for more mobility. That's why Shorinji Kempo does the higher stance. So that punch comes in, we're stepping off to the side diagonally a little bit and deflecting with an open hand, middle block, and countering with punch. And we're doing that. I'm just doing it step by step, but ideally quickly. That's as quick as we're going to do it to speed. So slowly stepping off that line of attack. So the attackers come in, we're stepping off that line of attack, but not too much. Just a little step off that line of attack, doing that parry, counter attack, and the non-active hand is still guarding the middle part of the body. There's none of this karate stuff, because karate would be like stepping forward, block, and punch along that same line of attack. Whereas Shorinji Kempo, stepping off that line of attack, parry, and counter, all in one smooth, fluid motion. And the next one, we're stepping forward again. Only we're blocking with the flat of the arm. Before we were crossing over with that middle block. This time we're doing an inner block and counter punch relatively at the same time. So the outer arm there and outer arm parry, and we're in a position to, the back heel is lifted to accommodate that movement. And the next one, drawing that punching arm down and punching to the neck, counter punching to the neck. And the position of the fist is like that, so you can hit into the neck. You're not doing that karate fist. Shorinji Kempo uses a vertical fist, except for this particular punch, you're kind of turning it over and landing that into the side of the neck. We're drawing that hand down first, and then I imagine you could also do that to the other side. I think that's actually what they're doing, is stepping in, pulling that punching hand down and punching to the neck. So we'll do that a few more times, and then we'll do those 3 sequences from the side. So stepping in, pulling that punching hand down and counter punching to the neck. You want to pull that hand down and make way for that, so that the neck is opened up. And then from the side, so stepping off, doing that middle block. Now, we want to be close enough so when we counter, it's hitting the floating ribs. If we just stand here, the block might take effect, but then we're too far away to counter properly without overextending ourselves. And in any kind of good martial art, you always want to keep your balance. You don't want to be overextending your balance, because you could be pulling off, or it's just a bad position to be in. So Judan Kamai, punch comes in, stepping off the line of attack, open block, open parry, counter attack with a vertical fist punch. next one, stepping off that line of attack and parrying with a flat forearm and countering. Again with that vertical fist. So. And that back heel is lifted. One more time. And the next one, stepping off, grabbing that punching arm, so it's coming across and down, pulling them off balance. You want to pull them off balance, and punching to the side of their neck now that they've been pulled off and their neck is exposed. Or, yeah, turn that fist over, that is, sorry. Off line of attack, pull that hand down, and punch to the side of the neck. Now this is also an opening. This can also be an opening to put somebody into an arm bar or into an arm elbow lock. Shorinji Kempo does, like I said, go-ho punches and kicks, but they also do joint locking techniques. So this opening could be grabbing that punching hand, or maybe reaching out to grab you, grabbing and putting into an arm bar or an elbow lock so that they're arm barred here, or elbow lock, and then maybe a counter kick while they're down like that, and their head is in position to be, maybe even a knee kick after pulling them down, punch. And to add on to those first two, so stepping, doing that parry. Now instead of doing that punch counter right immediately, we've done that outside parry, flick to the eyes, and then counter punch, because that flick can disorient them or get their targeting out. So just another addition to this little sequence. Stepping off the line of attack, parrying, punch, flick to the eyes, and then counter punch. And we're punching to the floating ribs. And we're not really hitting, we're just more flicking towards the eyes to get that flinch response. And the second sequence, boom, here, punch, and punch like a double punch. And the other one, bring that hand down, punch. I guess there's not really, the third one remains the same. So, so far we've done foam roller massage and modern day moxibustion heat vibration massage. Then and a 3-step attack and defense sequence. And it's called I think there's about 6 of them, but this is the first one, Tenchiken Daike. That was that sequence of 3 attacks and then going back 3 blocks, and usually then it's done with Hote, which is paired, or Hokai, or Hokei, yeah, Hokei, sorry. So paired with 2 people, one person takes a turn attacking, then the other person does the attack, and at the same time, the attacker and the block, and they switch roles and attack and block on that side. Some sequences. Off a punch with pairing, with evasive footwork pairing and combination, or sorry, counter striking. And next, a pull form. Modified from Tenchiken. A short priest staff named the Shakujo. Shakujo, so Tenchiken Daike. Just quickly once more showing the empty-handed version, and then we'll do the form with the pull. So Tenchiken Daike, punch, 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 block, 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 counter kick, back to normal. Normally Shakujo, the Shorinji Kempo, they use a 6-foot Shakujo, but I think originally the priest staff was maybe closer to 4 or 5 feet. And I have a 4-foot pole with me, so starting from our Chudan Kamai, so the feet are kind of the same width. They keep kind of an upright stance, but the grip is different because you have a pole in your hands now. And I believe it's gripping palm down on the front and palm down on the back. So starting from that middle level posture, Chudan Kamai with the Shakujo, shuffling step forward, thrust, crossover step, circular strike, stepping forward, we're blocking, striking upward with a pull. And there's my Kofi link, everybody. So again, starting from Chudan Kamai, shuffle step, thrust, cross step, strike, circular strike, crossover step, upward strike with the pole. Then from here, middle level block, lower level block and raise that foot, and back to Chudan by thrusting. So that's that sequence of 3 again. So Tenchiken Daike no Shakujo, middle level posture, stepping forward, thrust, strike, block, and upward strike, middle level block, stepping back, lower level block, and stepping forward with thrust and ending in our middle level posture again, Chudan Kamai. Whether it's Chudan Kamai empty-handed or Chudan Kamai with pole in the hands, it's still Chudan Kamai. So one more time, thrust, strike, upward strike, middle block, lower block, middle level posture. So that's that form adapted to pole. And that's been half an hour, so I'm going to go find someone to raid. Like I said, I was going to do this. I did do this yesterday, but my camera was not filming. My restream platform wasn't recording, so I guess that was just more of a rehearsal for today, which is fine. I hope you learned something today. And I might put that massager on my right knee as well, and I might roll out my lower back a little bit more, but I'm feeling a lot better than I was half an hour ago. So it was movement, and the massage is good therapy for my lower back and knee. See who else is doing fitness and health, and we'll raid somebody. Okay, we'll see if we can raid Kiara Training then. She's got 5 viewers so far, and I've never raided her channel before. If I can spell. There we go. Success. Thanks a lot for joining me, everybody. I hope you learned something today. If you do like my content, please consider sending me a coffee to support the stream. And we're going to go to Kiara Training now. We'll see you again, everybody. Take care.